What's up, you guys? Welcome back, and if you're new, consider smashing that subscribe button. So I know you guys see the title of this video. This topic has been requested a lot. It's probably my most requested video because you guys have seen that one of my kids is a little Asian, the other kid's kind of not. So you guys have asked me, well, what's up with baby daddy? Is the family involved? Do you talk to him? Have they met? Where is he? Like, what's the story behind it, right? And I've kept this really personal until now because I just wasn't ready. Like, I just wasn't ready to share the story with you and talk about it. I also do not want to offend his family or him. This is just my take on the situation. This is my personal experience. Take it as you will. But before we get started, I just have to put this little disclaimer. We get questions about my daughter all the time. All the time. It's kind of lessened a little bit, but when I first got her, everyone was like, oh, is she adopted? Oh, you look adopted. Oh, you're so cute. You're so Asian. And strangers would make her feel uncomfortable. And that in turn made me and Reese feel uncomfortable because it's like, our baby's not adopted. Like, our kid's fine. Yes, she's a little Asian. Jeez, like, move on. So if you see a child with a family that is not the same race as the family, don't say anything about it. Like, honestly, it's so horrible to make a child feel like they don't belong, and we have gotten that so much in Micah's life. You know, people coming up to us and asking why we're not Asian, but she is. That's horrible. My baby can hear you, and I used to be like really like quiet about it, like, no, she's not adopted, and I would just move on. But now, like, Mama Bear will come out. I will get you. Do not make my baby feel different. Don't make any baby feel like they don't belong. So just keep in mind, if you ask those questions in front of that child, think about the child and how they feel. Like, no kid wants to feel like they don't belong to their own family, okay? So Micah's not adopted. Moving on. So in 2011, I was in Fort Smith, Arkansas, and I met baby daddy. And it's actually like really difficult to talk about, so bear with me, you guys. I met him because he was a drug dealer. He was trying to sell drugs to a friend of mine that I was desperately trying to get sober. So I kicked him out of my friend's house. That was our first interaction. Now, as I stayed in Fort Smith a little bit longer, I started to use meth also, and baby daddy just really liked me, and which was crazy because I was hella mean. But eventually I'm like, okay, fine, what can I get for $50? And he gave me a lot of stuff for, it did not cost $5. It did not cost $50. What he gave me cost $150, but I didn't know that at the time, so like, he really liked me, and I started using meth. And every day, I was in this janky trailer park with my friends, and it was just horrible. Like, it was me being at my bottom. Like, it was a horrible, horrible place. They didn't even have furniture. Like, it was a horrible trailer. And every day, baby daddy would show up with food, and I needed it because I was kind of broke. Plus my friend was stealing money from me. Like, I would go to sleep, you guys. I would go to sleep with money in my bra, and I would wake up and it would be gone. Like, do you know how violated I felt to wake up and know, like, yeah, I'm wearing a tank top or whatever, but like, to wake up and know they took money from me, whether I'm in a tank top or a t-shirt, like whatever. You went in my bra and you took my money. I would have money taken out of my pockets when I was sleeping because meth heads will do anything to get money. Okay, just keeping it real. So he would steal money off of my person. Like, I started keeping it on my person because he would take it out of my bag. So that was horrible. I didn't even have money for food. I would have to steal food sometimes. Like, this is like me at the lowest of the low. I'm on the run from New York from charges that I racked up there, and I've made videos about it in the past, so go check that out. But I was just at my lowest, right? So every day baby daddy would bring Burger King or McDonald's or just bring me food, and I was like, whatever, thanks, and take it. But I was so grateful. Like, I didn't want him to know how grateful I was for this food because I didn't want anyone to know that I was so broke. Like, I didn't have anything, right? And like I said a second ago, I gave him $50 one time. That was like my only $50, but like, drugs are crazy, and it doesn't matter if I only have $50 and I just gave it to a drug dealer. I can go steal some Pop-Tarts from the store. Like, that's really how my addict mind thought in that day, right? So baby daddy would bring me food, and one day it was like the middle of the night, and I was just like really depressed, sitting outside and kind of crying, like on the edge of like crying because I was alone in a state where I don't know anyone. I really just didn't like myself. I didn't like that my ex-boyfriend was in jail, and I was really low, you guys. I was really depressed. I had thought about taking my own life, and I'm just sitting outside this trailer park in the middle of the night. Baby daddy comes by and he said, do you want to go to the casino? And I just thought, like, you come by at this moment, oh, it's gonna make me cry. You come by at this moment when I'm thinking about ending my life, and you ask me with a smile on your face if I want to go to the casino. And I was just like, I was like, is this a sign? Like, I know it sounds stupid to some people, but like, I really wanted to end my life that night. And I'm like, I don't have any money. And I kind of just like turned like, drive away now, go away. And he's like, I'll give you $100 to gamble. And I thought, $100 to gamble? Like, what else am I doing, right? So I'm like, okay, give me the $100 first. Like, not even thinking he was gonna give me $100, but he did. And I got in the car and he said, but you have to put it in the slot machines, okay? And I said, yeah, sure. And it turns out he's really funny. And you guys, if you can make a girl laugh, you can make her go to the casino with you. So he was funny, and I saw him in a different light. He was funny and he was kind of sweet, and I went to the casino with him and I would put in a little bit of money and then like cash out so that I had money to go home with because I was like really broke. He's like, oh, did you run out of money? And he kept giving me money to play. He's like, I just want you to have fun. I want you to have a good time. Well, from that night on, we were kind of inseparable and we started dating. Now, when I say we started dating, it wasn't like, oh, where are you from? What's your favorite color? What's your favorite food? Like, no, it was, we're gonna sell drugs together. My name's Jess, I'm from New York, you don't need to know anything else. Like, I didn't even tell him anything about me, and his family spoke Laos, okay? And I did not. So more often than not, I was in a room with people not even speaking English, and when we would go meet our dealers, they were speaking Spanish, and he spoke fluent Spanish, fluent Laos, and fluent English. So I was always in a room with people not speaking English, and when I was on drugs, it made me really insecure. Well, long story short, we got arrested and I go to jail and found out I was pregnant. Now, when I went to tell him that I was pregnant, which I had to tell him in the hallway of Sebastian County Jail, he said, is it mine? You guys, like, that made me just have so much bitterness, okay? So he had cheated on me, I broke up with him, and now we're in this jail. I told you I was pregnant. You asked me if it's mine. I did not cheat. This baby's yours. But I was so upset, and I'm like, no, it's mine. Like, you don't gotta worry about it. I got it from here. Well, I was so angry at him, and I just hated him for really how things had turned out. And it's crazy looking back on it now because I'm so grateful for that time. But in that moment, I was so angry. I couldn't stand him. I was hormonal because I was pregnant, and I went through my entire pregnancy just being really angry at him. Well, around like 4 or 5 months pregnant, I started to kind of see the light a little bit, and I just thought, you know what? I'm gonna let him in my life just so that he knows this little girl. I'm gonna do everything in my power to keep him updated and informed every step of the way. So in order for me to do that, I had to manipulate guards and prison or jailhouse nurses. I'm going somewhere with this. So I wanted him to hear Micah's heartbeat. Now, in order for me to do that, I needed the correctional officer and the nurse linked up. So in the middle of the night one night, my door pops. And now I've been leading up to this moment for weeks. I've been putting pressure on the guard, putting pressure on the nurse, like this is all I want to happen, right? My door pops, I hear, Kent, let's go. And I thought, this is it, this is the moment. You guys, I got out in the middle of the night, and I got him out in the middle of the night, and we were put in the hallway. Now, there's a little med station here, his pod is right here, and he was in his doorway of his pod. I was in the doorway of the medical unit, or the nurse's office. They put the bed in the doorway, and he heard Micah's heartbeat for the first time. Anyone that's been to jail knows how hard that is to pull off. That took me some serious sales talk, but I wanted to keep him as informed as possible. So I would send him updates on my pregnancy. I would keep him informed, right? Well, we go to prison, and I have to piggyback letters, and all throughout that journey, I sent, updates, and then eventually when she was born, if I got a picture, I would send it to my mom. She would make a copy of the picture. She would send it to him. Now, fast forward 7 years, I have full custody of that little girl. He is still in prison. This is what I do, okay? I send him pictures once a month. He gets 5 pictures once a month. Every 90 days he gets an update on my daughter. Now, the reason why it's distant like that is because Micah doesn't understand that she has this other person connected to her in Arkansas. She doesn't know. She thinks Reese is her dad because he is her dad. Reese has stepped up and taken care of this little girl ever since I have been in her life. So Reese and I have been her constant, right? And she knows she has a gotcha day, but she doesn't know what that means, or that there's this other man that is biologically her father. And I've gotten questions about child support. I will never accept money from him. The only thing I want for him is to have a successful and sober life. And when my daughter is old enough, if she wants to get to know him, or if she wants to meet him, then I will supervise those visits. I'm very protective of her, but I want her to decide. You know, she's gonna be 7 soon, and she'll be 8.5 or 9 when he gets out, and that's when she can decide. She's never talked to him on the phone. They don't have a relationship. He sends her letters or cards or pictures, and as long as they don't say the word dad, she can have them. And I know that sounds crappy, but I don't want to confuse her. I want to wait for the right time. I don't know if I'm doing it the right way. I just know I have to go with my gut. I have to do what's best. I don't know much about him. I know he was a drug dealer. So I have to protect my daughter and do what I think is best. Is my way the right way? I don't know. I just, like I said, I have to go with my gut, and I have to protect my daughter, but at the same time, it's her decision, and I will support her decision as long as I can supervise, and as long as she is safe, then I will support that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I just want you to know it's really difficult for me to talk about this, so please, please understand where I'm coming from. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video.